Hello, everyone. I have one question for you. Do you know where your personal brand is? I'm a Gen X kid, and I grew up periodically during the day, there would be a commercial on that said, "Do you know where your children are?" Because black and brown and white and all of Gen X kids, we were outside until the street lights came on. Listen, hi, I am Monica Wisdom, the founder of the Black Women Amplified podcast, and I help Black women in corporate and Black women entrepreneurs share their stories, elevate their personal brand while being Black out loud. And I do that through one on one consultations, this social media platform, as well as masterclasses. And I'll talk a little bit about some of those classes later on in this conversation. But today we're going to talk about personal branding. I was inspired by a woman named Gillian Perkins. She put out a video called Personal Branding Secrets of a 1 million follower brand. Now, that is absolutely fantastic. Having a million followers for your brand is amazing. And if you're able to leverage it to make $1 million in your pocket, that's even better. But here's the thing that I have discovered by working in this podcast and working with hundreds of women over the years. The one thing about Black women is we don't like to talk about ourselves. So we hear the people, the gurus, the consultants, all the things all across the media is build a personal brand, share your story, do this, do that. But here's the deal. We don't like to talk about ourselves. So on this channel, we're going to talk about unraveling that conditioning and that learning, unlearning it so that we can free ourselves and that we can share ourselves in a whole new way. So in personal branding, Gillian talks about the steps of having a personal brand. And there are many steps, there are foundational things that are required for everybody's brand, whether it's business or it's personal. But here's the deal. If you don't like talking about yourself and you don't like sharing yourself, one, you need to really understand why. And two, you're not going to do it. That's just it. You're not going to do it. So it's easier for us as a Black woman to talk about other people and their accomplishments. It's easier to talk about a pair of shoes that we love, some lipstick that we adore. What are these glasses? I've had these glasses on all day and they're giving me a headache. They're cute though, ain't they? But listen, powerful branding is a powerful tool. Let me say that again. Personal branding is a powerful tool when it comes to elevating in your corporate job because people need to know what you're able to do. If you're a speaker, you want to get gigs, you want to get clients. If you're a consultant, the same thing. You want to develop opportunities. And here's the thing, in 2020 and prior, business was totally different. It wasn't as challenging as it is now. And the way that people do business is completely different. People want to feel connected and people want to feel community, which means they need to know you a lot better. Not just the accomplishments and the accolades, but the challenges and the hardships and the struggles. And here we are as Black women, we have been trained, and I'm going to just say trained. I'm going to stop there. We have been trained to keep home at home. Don't be out there telling your people your personal business. And I understand it because for many years, it was about safety. I mean, remember during Jim Crow, well, we don't remember, but our parents have told us you couldn't even look white folks in the eye, right? You had to keep your head down and look at the ground, and you had to move out of the way for a white person to pass if you could even be on the sidewalk. So that level of conditioning is still inside of us, right? So when somebody says, give a speech, you're like, I don't, Like you completely just shut down and turn into a 3-year-old. Mm-mm, not doing that. Not doing that. Come be on the podcast. Mm-mm, I'm not doing that. And even when I'm on the podcast, some of the women just, there's an intimacy that comes with audio, so it's a little bit easier. But when you get on video, um, people get a little bit shy. Because here's the thing, the idea of putting ourselves out there, it draws up emotions, it's daunting, and it really puts us in a place where we feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And the key for a Black woman with anything is to feel safe. Now, I'm watching this video and I'm looking between myself and the camera. Listen, listen, I'm learning. But this information comes from being on this earth for over 50 years and being an entrepreneur for over 35 years. And I tell you what, I listen, I learn, and I have experienced the things that I'm sharing with you. So I will say this. I remember one time when I started my podcast, my bestie is like incredible. She is just amazing. She's like the queen of philanthropy. She's done all these incredible things. She's worked with Colin Powell. She's worked with Jackie Joyner Kersee. The list goes on and on. And I said to her, oh my God, come on the podcast. This will be a great conversation because I know her so well. She's like, I'm not doing that. Now, this is a woman who puts on programs, who has worked in philanthropy, who's raised millions of dollars. I'm not doing that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, is this the challenge that I'm going to have to come up against? The answer is yes. I approach people all the time. Come on the podcast. Let's have a conversation. Come share your story. Come tell us your journey. I'm not doing that. But you have a business and a product you can promote. I'll do it another way. I mean, people would rather spend money on an advertising agency than simply sitting down and telling their story. That's just the truth. And here's the thing. For us as Gen X Black women and older, it is important for our voices to be heard. We have experienced things no other generation on this planet has gone through. Gen X is the first generation outside of Jim Crow, right? And our parents wanted us to be safe and sound and come home, just like parents of today, come home safely. So we're still teaching our kids, keep your head down, say yes, ma'am, say yes, sir, and just get home. And I get that. But when it comes to business in 2023 and beyond, like I said, people want connection and community. And the easiest way and the freest way to get that connection and community is to tell your story. This is the thing. We always put everything and everyone before us. As Black women, we feel comfortable in the background. We feel comfortable elevating the men in our life and our children and our peers. And not only because we are having this emotion with sharing our story, but it's also a self-worth conversation, right? It's about, are the words coming out of my mouth worthy to be heard? And I'm here to tell you, sis, yes. And I get it. I used to think I could listen. I wouldn't talk. I would walk in the room and not talk to anybody. And people were like, oh, she's stuck up. I'm like, I am terrified to open my mouth because I didn't feel like my voice was the voice anybody else wanted to hear. But when I tell you, when I'm doing this podcast, if you have not listened to the Black Women Amplified podcast, I invite you to listen to at least 3 stories of 3 different women and tell me that you don't have a life experience similar in some type of way. And your story matters as well. And the thing about personal branding is there's 2 components. There's the branding side, which is all the steps and all the elements that go into branding that also works for business, but what makes it personal is you, right? You invite people into your world. And here's the thing, Black women, we are guarded, we are reserved. We are anything but out loud. Now, there are some extroverted people, but even with extroverted people, rarely are they telling their story. They're just out there. And I'm an introvert. I don't know if I'm an introvert. I don't know what they call me, but now I can talk to a tree. And I don't even think I'm an introvert. I think that I have had to heal from so much trauma to the point I had to release my persona that I felt kept me safe to really get into understanding that my voice was worthy to be heard. And I'm in my 50s and this is my first YouTube video. That says a lot about how much of the guard that we have to let down. These kids get on their phone and just tell all their business, but we don't. And we don't have to tell all our business, but we have to start letting our guard down and opening up just a little bit more to let people inside so that they connect with you. And when they connect with you, they become a part of your tribe. And you know what happens when people become part of your tribe? They spend $3,000 to come see you in London. Just ask the Beehive. Just ask the Janet Jackson, the Rhythm Nation. Listen, people get into the person. And the truth of the matter is, people buy brands, not products. People buy connection, not a new lipstick. There are 10 million lipsticks. Why do you buy the one that you buy? Because you love the company, you love what they stand for, and you feel special when you put their product on because you're connected. And that's what personal branding does. It builds that connection. Now, before we go any further, I want to tell you, if you are a Black woman in entrepreneurship, you're a Black woman in corporate, a Black woman in business, please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be bringing you the heat, the truth, from my understanding and my experience. And I hope that you join along for the ride. Now, also like this video. Like it just because I put on my makeup. Okay. So I say to you that we want to really understand the personal side of personal branding. You can learn all the tools and the tricks, but until you feel comfortable sharing who you are, sharing just a bit more of your story and expanding yourself in front of people, then you're just going to continue to hide behind what you do, your accomplishments, your accolades, and other people. But you're the shining star, honey. You're the diamond. You're the blueprint. So it's time for everybody to see your magnificence. Not everybody, not everybody, not everybody, but just the people who you are wanting to stand in front of and tell your speech, who you want to interview, who you want to hear from you on a podcast, you know, who wants to buy that amazing product that you create, your crochet, your candles, whatever it is. When it connects to a story, it connects to other people's hearts. So let's get into this. I wrote out 5 ways, and I'm probably going to look down at my notes, Gen X brain, but I just want to give you 5 ways to really begin to open yourself up. Because listen, you're worthy. Number one is you want to get clear about what you want to share with the world. Like I said, you don't have to share everything and all the things, but get clear about what you do want to share. Because we as Black women, we have standards, we have a level of excellence we want to present. And as you open yourself up, you're going to share more of yourself. But just get clear about what that is. So in personal branding, how is it connected to what you're selling or the journey that you want people to go on? So if it's the journey you want people to go on, what is the end result of where you want them to go? And as their guide, you have to be willing to do the same thing. So that's how you get clear on what you're offering to the world. So if there's a transformation, what is the transformation that connects to you? What has been your transformation? That's what you share. You don't share, well, you'll share the steps, but if you come from, this is what you do, just do this, and you come across as a guru, it can turn some people off. But if you say, hey, this is what I did, you know, and it can work for you too, and let me show you how, right? That's connection. You're not telling anybody what to do. You're just sharing what you did. That's personal branding. And then you want to reveal, number two, you want to ditch the persona, right? That lady that seems to come out when you're speaking to people at a networking party. You know her. She speaks perfectly, and she's has a master's degree from here. She has a doctorate from there. She's done all the things. She's traveled to Madagascar, to Asia, to all the places. But here's the truth. You like meeting new people and you like to travel. That's it. You just drop it. And I get it. It's it has become our shield, our level of protection. When we introduce yourselves, hi, I'm Monica. I've done this, and this. People walk away with knowing what you've done. People still don't know who you are. And I get it. I was the queen of dodging those conversations because again, I didn't feel like I sounded worthy. I was gifted. I still am, but I don't do it as much. But gifted in the sense of I could deflect the conversation away from me instantly. Ooh, time to color my hair. I could have a whole conversation with the person and not mention anything about myself. I have a girlfriend that used to tell me, real good friend of mine. She's one of my elder sisters who just when I was young nitwit running the streets, she would snatch me up and give me some wisdom and then sit me back out. But she said, Monica, you know how to disappear in a room. How do you do that? Like you walk through the room, you're visible, but people don't see you. But it was protection. I didn't want to be seen. So as you get into your personal branding and you're putting yourself out there and your stories out there, just take a step at a time, release a little bit of information at a time, and just get comfortable and then take the next step. Get a little more comfortable, take the next step. But like I said, you ain't got to tell all your business. You don't have to, but you have to go a little deeper instead of wider, right? Tell the full story, not just a little bit of it. When you're talking about your college accolades, talk about how hard it was being a college student, right? Talk about when you didn't have any money and talk about when you might have not eaten or you had to work two jobs or your parents didn't have the money to come and see you. Like, talk about stuff like that. That's personal connection. That's your story. That's a part of who you are. And then you really have to know yourself, right? You have to know yourself in a way that's very intimate. I tell my clients, take the time to fall in love with yourself. You know, when you look in the mirror, do you see the flaws or do you see your divine beauty that you were born with? It took me a long time to see my beautiful. And I know for a lot of women, it's the same thing. I remember reading, y'all will find out I love me some Janet Jackson, but I read hers. I wouldn't call it her memoirs, memoir-ish, but she talked about how she hated her smile. She never thought she was attractive. And to the point where she used to bang her head against the wall because if she made a mistake or she did something wrong. And she just never felt beautiful. She said she never even liked her body until she started dating Jermaine Dupri. Can you imagine Janet Jackson not liking her body? I mean, but we all have those insecurities. We all have that imposter syndrome. We all have those places where we're scared and terrified for other people to know. So take the time to get to know yourself. And listen, before I give you the next two, I have, if you want to go deeper into this, because we're just doing a high level version of this, um, things that's probably resonating with you. But if you want to go deeper into getting to know yourself better, I have a masterclass that you can sign up for the waitlist for called Next Chapter. And we go all the way back to your origin story and then come back up to now. And then we find those places where you have blocked yourself from letting yourself be free, letting yourself go, and the places where you began to edit yourself, where you become this, where you went from this vibrant little kid to just, okay, this reserved person that we all see now. So the information will be in the description area at the bottom of this video. Or if you don't like master classes and you want to do a one-on-one session, I also do private sessions and you can sign up for that as well. The link will be in the description. Trying to get this YouTube thing down. So number 4, be honest with your emotions. We tend to fall into perfectionism and everything great isms. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. But you know, when you get home at the end of the day and you're tired and you take your shoes off, you look in the mirror and you like, ugh. It is not, you're tired, you're exhausted, and you really spent a lot of time making people think that you're okay. But those tears that are shedding on your pillow, that anxiety that you're going through, that's the truth. So honor your emotions. I'm not saying be a disgruntled person complaining all the time, because nobody wants to hear the complaints. But if you're not having, if somebody says how you're doing, say, you know, today I'm not at my best. And if they want to go deeper, just be truthful. Some people don't care, but some people actually do care. And make sure that you have a tribe around you that does care, that's reciprocal. That's a whole nother video. But be honest with your emotions. If you're out there on social media and you're not having a good day, let the people know today's not great. Today's not a great day. I know before, when I got up this morning, I was not in the best of moods. And not because I wasn't in the best of moods. I just felt like I was working on something last night. And I woke up this morning and was like, it's all wrong. I got to do this all over again. It's all wrong. Not because I'm in perfectionism, because I was just trying to get it done before. And I'm like, nope. I got all the things that I'm telling you all today is the same conversation I had with myself this morning. It has got to be honest. It has got to be real. And I have to tell exactly what it is. Not what I think I want people to hear, but I have to be honest with my emotions. I have to be clear in my conversation. And as I'm putting myself out there, it has to be an honest uh, idea, honest reality, I should say, not idea, honest reality of who I am and what I stand for. All of it, all the things. So be honest with your emotions and be honest. And the number 5 is trust yourself. Girl, you have got all the certificates, all the degrees. You've been at all the meetings, all the fundraisers, all the gallery openings, all the things all around the world. You know your shit. Trust that you know your shit. It might not be like Oprah stuff. It might not be like Michelle Obama stuff. It might not be all the stuff that people you scrolling on Instagram looking at. But I'm going to tell you what they don't know what you know, and you don't know what they know. but they want to know what you know just as much as you want to know what they know. Trust me. You will be shocked. But once you put yourself out in the world, once you get clear about what you want to share with the world, once you reveal more of yourself to the world and get to know yourself in the place of, I love me, like truly, not just saying it, not just being it, but feeling it from your core. I am so in love with myself. So in love with myself. Something just flew in my eye. Oh my goodness, I think my makeup flew in my eye. Anyway, and be honest once you're honest with your emotions. Every day is not a perfect day. Every day is not a good day. And I'm not saying be a complainer or a person that's full of grudges and every day is a bad day, because every day is not a bad day either. But be honest with your emotion and just ditch the perfectionism. Also, trust yourself. You know, you are the best story that was ever born. You are the best person to tell your story. And you're the best person to be yourself. You're special. I'm special. It took me a long time to get to be able to say this with confidence that I am special. Well, that is our conversation for the day. Don't forget to go listen to the Black Women Amplified podcast. Like and subscribe to this channel, and stay tuned for more information about personal branding, about sharing your story, about amplifying your life. Because I'm telling you right now, you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be seen, and you deserve for the world to know that you're a shining star. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.